Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Myra Tatum Salcido. I generally go by Dr. Salcido or Professor Salcido, and I am with University of Texas Permian Basin. And if you're receiving this video, it's because you are enrolled in my English 1302 course for summer session 2, which is the first day will be June 28th through August 12th. June 28th through August 12th, it's 7 weeks. So I wanted to let you know ahead, and I'm going to be sending you a syllabus, task schedule, and some materials ahead of the course beginning, because we will just jump in with 7 weeks. There's a lot to accomplish. If you plan on taking off a week and going on vacation, it's not going to work. It's too condensed. You are accomplishing almost everything you would in the 16-week course, but you're meeting all the requirements of a 16-week course in 7 weeks. So that frees you up to take something else in the fall. So that's the good news. The other news is that you have to really commit to the course, to being in it every day. I will be available to you every day. And that includes weekends and evenings. I don't generally respond to texts or emails or anything after 8 o'clock. Unless you have a job and that's the only time you can reach me. I'll do that by appointment. So I am not readily available evenings because I get up very early, like 5:30 to start getting in the courses, or 6:30. People will notice I'm up early, and sometimes I get up in the morning and students have just signed off. They were up till 4 a.m. doing something. Those days when I could keep those hours are gone for me. I've become a morning person. So what I wanted to let you know most of all is do not purchase any books. Do not purchase any books for this course. There are no books needed. You will be given all the materials that you need for the course free of charge in the way of electronic textbooks and other materials. So it does say in the bookstore that you need, the university bookstore shows composition handbook 6th edition as a necessary book for the course. It is not. Do not buy it. Even bigger reason not to buy it is that we won't have time to use much of it, and it's not inexpensive. Plus, it's obsolete. In just a few weeks before school starts, this 6th edition is being replaced by a 7th edition, which really, if it was a 1301 course and the edition were available, you would use it over 2 semesters, hopefully. So don't worry about the textbook, and if you've ordered it, see if you can send it back. Also, you should have a nodding acquaintance with Modern Language Association style, also known as MLA. It's a style of writing and attributing sources with specific citations, such as the author's last name and page number. When you're right in the middle of the paper, you quote somebody, in parentheses, it'd be the author's last name, space, page number only, just the number in parentheses. It's that simple, and it's extremely important to attribute sources where you got your information so you don't fall into getting looked at as having created academic dishonesty. So I have an MLA handbook. It's pretty new. I've only had it a few months. It's obsolete. New one came out 3 weeks ago, so we will be using MLA 9th edition style. This is 8, so anybody wants a free book. that's the way it goes. I'm not the gods that decided that everybody needs a new edition of a textbook every year. And the beauty of it is you can get things on Kindle or even podcasts and different things for lower prices. Which brings me to the two movies you will need for the course. One is the first edition of Frozen. Maybe you've seen it. Maybe you have a younger sibling and you've watched it to death, or you have a child that has made you watch it to death. Don't worry about that. We will be watching it through a different lens, if you will, different perspective for when men are stereotyped, women are stereotyped, when they follow those stereotypes, and when they break free of them. So we'll be looking at gender issues, a little bit of gender studies, and the other film you will need is the 1999, I believe, first Matrix film. May have seen that too. We're going to watch it in a whole new realm that I'm excited about. And you can get these streaming, if you have Netflix or Amazon, any way you can get these, get access to them to watch, the least expensive possible way is great. Just know you're going to need to see those two films and be prepared to have access to them. And you don't want to wait until an assignment is due and you should have watched the film because the weeks are going to go by quickly. 7 weeks is just intense, and it's impossible for me to extend due dates. Now, if something dramatic happens to you, you could document it or not. Just let me know before assignment is due. This has happened to me. I'm in the hospital, or somebody in my family just passed away. Something like that happens, I will try to work with you, but there's not much wiggle room for me to extend days, even at the end of the semester, because it starts bumping into fall, which I believe starts August 28th, something like that. So, there's just a couple weeks, and then it's already fall for the fall semester. So there are 4 papers in the class. Don't panic. They're not all long. One will be on Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from Birmingham jail. I do believe it has not changed. And the uses of rhetorical appeals, his appeals to different kinds of rhetoric, like ethos, pathos, and logos. And I will go over those and explain those, and you will have a really good grasp of rhetorical appeals by the time you finish the course. So it will give you an inkling into that world of rhetoric before you take a literature course or maybe an upper level course that is more involved with it. So modern language association style, you might even look it up. And I will try to get us the information into the course so you're not expected to buy any books, especially since they're just coming out and some are not even out yet, the new editions, so that makes it difficult. It's sort of an in-between place. It just happened this semester. So I will be making videos. You will need access to a computer or 2 all semester. And the reason I say that is we had the great ice storm of 2020 in Texas, and some computers were not in areas that they could access the internet, and that makes it really difficult. People were without power and without water, and try to find another way to complete assignments. Somebody else's computer or another place to go. So, it's best, there's an app on the phone for Canvas, which is the learning management system. We will be using the courses all entirely in Canvas. So you will need to familiarize yourself with negotiating the tools and everything. It's pretty simple. There's tutorials. I will go over those before the course begins. If you've already taken a course in Canvas, and you've got a leg up, so to speak. So it's got some fun stuff. There's some fun things to do. You will be creating your own junk mail letter or advertisement, rather, in a letter format. And it could be about ads on social media, or, it's wide open. So I told you the first paper we had Rhetoric and Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from Birmingham jail. The second paper, I do believe, is the research paper. It comes up pretty quickly. So I will make a whole video on just what goes into a research paper. That is your big paper. It's individually written, and it needs to be 8 to 10 pages on a topic that could be argued and researched. And I will go over all of that, so don't worry. I will do that so that you can have time to start thinking about it now, what you want to write about, and maybe even get started practicing looking up scholarly academic journals and books through the UTPB library databases, online databases. They're free, and they're online, and they're free to students. So the third paper will be on gender issues. It'll be after we watched Frozen and talked about gender studies. And the final paper is a reflection paper, which is about 3 to 4 pages, as is the gender paper. And the reflections is just reflecting back on your journals and how you have changed as a writer in a matter of weeks. And believe me, people do change and grow through the assignments. You just have to keep doing all of them. Don't wait for the big major papers to come, because small assignments prepare you for the larger papers. Otherwise, you're looking at a blank screen when you won't need for that to happen if you do things in piecemeal, and follow a format. So I will get you that format and more. I just wanted to let people know the materials as soon as possible, so you won't be panicking thinking, it's going to start and I won't have my books. It takes a while to get textbooks, and when you've got 7 weeks, you've really got to have everything before the class. But for this course, you don't need to worry about that. So good to have you in class. Get friends to join, and I will see you in the next video.